Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about something we all love. Food. The universal language of love, the thing that brings us all together, and sometimes the very thing that splits us apart. Yes, I'm talking about the world of foodies. It's a delicious world, a world that takes us on a whirlwind tour of taste sensations and leaves us always wanting more. Now, I thought I knew a thing or two about food. I've been eating it all my life. But recently, I've started dating a self-proclaimed foodie. And let me tell you, they've shown me that there's a whole other level to this food game. Their idea of a meal isn't just about eating. Oh no, it's about having a culinary experience. We'll go to a restaurant and while I'm tucking into my burger, they're there, eyes closed, savoring every bite as if it's a symphony of flavors playing in their mouth. And I'm just sitting there thinking, it's just a burger, mate, not a concert. And then there's the question of their favorite cuisine. I remember once asking them about it, expecting a simple answer, something like Italian or Mexican, normal stuff. But oh no, they looked me dead in the eye and said, Instagrammable. Come on. Since when did Instagrammable become a type of cuisine? I didn't even know that was a thing, but apparently it is. And it's not just about the taste anymore, it's about how the food looks, how it's presented, and of course how many likes it can get on Instagram. So here I am, a humble eater, navigating the world of foodies, one Instagrammable meal at a time. And as I do so, I can't help but chuckle at the delicious absurdity of it all, because while food is meant to be enjoyed, it's also meant to be fun. And if there's one thing that foodies know how to do, it's how to have fun with their food. So sit back, relax, and join us as we dive into this culinary comedy extravaganza where the food is tasty, the laughs are hearty, and the follies are plenty. And remember, in the world of foodies, there's always room for dessert. Unless, of course, it's kale. I didn't even know that was a thing. Can we talk about food photos for a moment? There's a peculiar fascination that has taken root in our society. It's the obsession with capturing the perfect picture of our meals. It's as if the food has suddenly transformed into a top model, and the table has become a runway. The plate is the stage, and the garnish, the final touch of makeup before the show. Now, I'm all for appreciating the aesthetics of a well-presented dish. But when your meal gets cold because you've spent the last 10 minutes trying to find the perfect angle, it's time to ask if the steak is there for you or if you're there for the steak. And let's not forget about the lighting. Some folks carry around portable light rings just to give their salad that extra sparkle. Suddenly, you're not just a foodie, you're a director of photography for a salad bar. Then comes the filters. Oh, the filters. It's like the food has to go through a digital plastic surgery before it's ready for its public debut. The hue, the saturation, the contrast, it's a full-on editing suite operation. Food was meant to be tasted, not photoshopped. And what about those folks who meticulously arrange every leaf of lettuce, every slice of tomato, every crumb of bread for that perfect shot? It's as if they're playing a game of chess with their food, contemplating every move, every placement. By the time they're done, the toast is colder than a penguin's toes in Antarctica. But the most amusing part? When you see their caption, a quick bite. Quick, they said. Quick, like the time it took for the earth to form. So the next time you're about to take a snap of your food, remember it's not a cover shoot for a gourmet magazine. It's dinner. Enjoy it while it's hot. If I wanted to eat a rainbow, I'd have Skittles for breakfast. Foodies have this incredible talent for turning ordinary ingredients into something exotic. You see, foodies are like culinary magicians. They can take the most mundane of ingredients and transform them into something that sounds straight out of a fantasy novel. Take kale, for instance. Now, to the average Joe, kale is just a leafy green that tastes a bit like a rubber tire. But to a foodie, kale is a symphony of flavors, a dance of nutrients, a sonnet of health benefits. They'll tell you, kale is not just food, it's an experience. And you're there, chewing on your leaf, wondering when the experience is supposed to start. But the real spectacle unfolds when these food enthusiasts descend upon food festivals. Picture this, a battlefield, but instead of swords and shields, the warriors wield tiny forks and spoons. There's a battle cry, try this artisanal quinoa, it's life-changing, and you're caught in the crossfire, a piece of quinoa stuck to your cheek. wondering if your life has indeed changed. And let's not forget the exotic ingredients. Foodies have this uncanny ability to find the most obscure ingredients, things you didn't even know were edible, and incorporate them into dishes. You'll find yourself at a dinner party with a plate full of something that looks suspiciously like your front lawn, and the host will say, "Oh, you must try the dandelion salad, it's absolutely divine." And you're left wondering if you accidentally wandered into a rabbit's dinner party. And then there's the foodie who insists on making everything from scratch. You mention that you like bread, and the next thing you know, they've built a brick oven in their backyard and are milling their own wheat. You compliment their pasta, and suddenly they're raising their own chickens for the freshest eggs. You're just hoping they don't take up beekeeping when you mention you like honey. In the end, you have to admire their passion. Foodies, you see, don't just eat food. They live it, they breathe it, they worship at its altar. And sure, they might get a little carried away at times, but isn't that part of the fun? After all, it's a grain, Karen, not a religious experience. Foodies also have their own language. You ever notice that? It's like they've created this secret code to keep the rest of us in the dark. You walk into a fancy restaurant, pick up the menu, and it might as well be written in hieroglyphics. Our seasonal asparagus is gently caressed by a zephyr of citrus and basted in the tears of a unicorn. Huh? I just want to know if it's grilled or boiled. And then there's this whole new trend of molecular gastronomy. I mean, I appreciate science as much as the next guy, but when my dinner starts looking like a chemistry experiment, I get a little nervous. You order a salad and it comes out looking like a petri dish with blobs of jelly that explode with flavor. I remember this one time I ordered a dish and it came with tomato foam. That's right, foam, like the stuff you find on the top of your morning cappuccino. But this was on my dinner plate. I looked at the waiter and asked, "Am I supposed to wash my hands with this or eat it?" And then there's the desserts. Oh, the desserts. They come out looking like miniature architectural wonders. This is our deconstructed apple pie. Deconstructed? Last time I checked, the best part about an apple pie was that it was all put together in a beautiful flaky crust. Now I've got to build it myself. But the best part is when they describe the flavors. This dish resonates with the subtle notes of summer afternoons and whispers of forgotten childhood memories. I mean, come on. All I wanted to know was whether it's spicy or not, but you know what? I've got to hand it to them. Foodies sure know how to make a meal sound like an epic journey, and as much as we poke fun at it, we've got to admit, it adds a little bit of spice to our lives. So, here's to the foodies and their delightful, if somewhat confusing, culinary language. Cheers. I felt like I was eating a cappuccino's distant cousin. In conclusion, let's embrace our inner foodies, but maybe with a side of humor. Because let's face it, food isn't just about sustenance, it's about enjoyment. It's about adventure. It's about that thrill of discovering a new flavor, that joy of sharing a meal with loved ones, that satisfaction of creating something delicious from scratch. But let's also remember to not take ourselves too seriously. After all, food is meant to be fun. It's okay to giggle at the absurdity of a foam-infused dish or the pretentiousness of a kale smoothie. It's okay to laugh at our own foodie follies and culinary misadventures. And yes, it's okay to be a foodie. It's okay to be passionate about food, to appreciate its artistry and complexity. It's okay to savor every bite, to relish every ingredient, to look forward to every meal. It's okay to love food in all its delicious, messy, glorious forms. But let's not lose sight of the real essence of food. Its ability to bring us together, to create memories, to tell stories. Let's not forget that at the end of the day, it's not about how perfectly plated your dish is or how many likes your food photo gets on Instagram. It's about the shared laughter over a meal, the conversations sparked by a dish, the connections formed around a table. So go ahead, embrace your inner foodie, revel in your love for food, explore new cuisines, try new recipes, experiment with new ingredients, but do it with a smile on your face, a twinkle in your eye, and a hearty laugh ready to burst forth at any moment. Because food is more than just a necessity. It's an experience. It's a journey. And like any good journey, it's filled with twists and turns, ups and downs, and plenty of laughs along the way. Thank you, and remember, life is short. Eat dessert first, unless it's kale. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more foodie follies and culinary comedy.